Michael, can you see what's going on in the game?
Yeah.
Can you watch me doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah, wee.
It's adorable.
Yeah, it's great.
Super cute.
How do you do it?
You just gotta twirl the joypad around, and then eventually you
That
just
is
go.
very funny. And we're back. Welcome to the Bombardiers.
Can you do a better intro
my
than
God.
that? We decided on jokes and stories.
I don't f***ing... What do you want from me?
Anyway, welcome back.
Oh yeah, that was a much better intro.
No, the intro is me
So
calling him
much
out for
better.
not doing a good enough intro, and then doing the exact same intro.
Oh, clever. Smart
Exactly.
Oh, a
boy.
little
Well
meta
done.
joke there. And then we explain it to make it even more
It's always
Exactly.
funnier when you
Clever.
explain it.
clever.
Anyway,
Batman
Michael was
forever.
telling a story. Would you like to continue with the story? Because we gave you a whole episode
Okay,
and you
so-
didn't even get to the end.
I didn't
It's
get
true.
to the end. It's a long story. It's
a long
not as
story.
long as the fucking live
not as
stream
long
that
as
is
my
the climax
dick.
of this story, but we'll get there.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
my God.
I got
Oh my
someone sent me a card about
God.
my dick. What the
Oh,
fuck
good.
is that?
Yes,
Is that
they
a
did.
Meowth?
That's
Someone
Meowth.
sent
That's
me a song
Galarian
about my
Meowth.
It's horrifying.
That
It
is
is.
terrible.
Meowth now has 3 different forms.
What is that thing? I don't
He has
like
4
it.
different forms actually. If you discount his Gigantamax form,
I do discount that. I'm
He's
talking
just
like,
supposed to be
isn't there also a Alolan
cute.
Meowth?
there's a Alolan Meowth as well.
Both Michael and I are the noobs at this game, and we have no idea what's happening.
Michael's
Now,
not a noob to this game. He's
Yeah,
familiar
I'm sorry.
with Pokemon.
You fucking...
Wow.
I'm sorry?
throwing me over
Oh my
here.
goodness.
I'm
Someone
sorry. I
was
thought
being
you were
a
a,
little
I thought you were a
rude to
Pokemon
Michael.
noob, just like
Oh,
me.
no.
Someone
Rude.
is salty.
I played the original. I wore out the original. I played through
I
it
still
so many
have
times.
Pokemon Red, the
That
cartridge.
way.
The thing is, I never
Aw.
selected any Pokemon other than Bulbasaur as a starter for the new one.
That was me with
That's
Squirtle.
fair.
Each time I was like, well, Bulbasaur's my favorite still. I'm not seeing any benefit to going with what? Squirtle? Are you kidding me?
I used Squirtle all the time until I grew up and then started choosing Charmander.
I always went with Squirtle.
Oh,
Bad
you guys are
choices.
so cute.
No, see,
That's
this
the
is the
best
thing.
design
When you have 2 brothers, each one of them
Brag
will
about your
start with a
brothers.
different. Yeah, that's right. I got 2 of them.
You have 2 more
And
brothers
each
than I
one of
have.
them had a different starter. My middle brother used Squirtle, and my youngest brother used Charmander. So it's just like that was just.
Are you
us.
the
We
oldest?
were loyalists to our separate Pokemon. Yeah.
That's
My
fair.
God. Well, that's a fucking fascinating story. Can you tell us the other story?
Yeah.
Moving
yeah, yeah.
right along. Like I said,
What would have happened if you hadn't called him a noob, Ray?
Exactly.
So sorry.
Learning from Renegade Monk. I did just say his name, so do bleep that out.
We've said it so many times at this point.
I've been saying
Wait, are we
Renegade Monk this whole
bleeping
time.
Damien or Renegade Monk?
Oh my god,
God.
obviously Renegade Monk. Renegade Monk is not what he's called anywhere. It's just
oh,
like
really? That's not
it
his
was
YouTube channel?
No, it was a quote from one of the things that he said.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Boy.
All right. Well, we'll bleep it. Don't you worry.
And bleep out the
Editor,
bleeps.
bleep out every.
It's just
Yeah.
like it's
Oh,
not.
you want me to
worth
actually
the trouble.
watch the video while I edit it? Ugh, fucking lame.
See
We
that?
can always make Moose do it.
No. This is my
Oh,
thing.
fine. Be that way.
Well, can you start
Hey guys,
sending
can
me
I
the
take
audio
one
so I
second
can
to tell you
edit
that
it?
I'm looking at the Instacart app? I need you to shut up, Elias, for 2 seconds so I can tell a
Okay, go
story.
ahead.
I love you.
Birds.
I was kidding. Don't shut up. I was looking at Instacart and I was looking up cheese. And like, there's a bunch of options for cheese on the list of available options, and at the very bottom, it's like the Diva Cup, menstrual cup, and I have to say, it feels pointed. Like, do men get this result?
You know, it's funny. Like, I'll be looking for fucking eggs, and then at the very bottom, there's like gigantic, value bargain bundle pack of Trojans for my Monster Dawn.
Remember when we brought Michael on to tell a story?
Yeah.
And now we're overextending.
All
by
right,
another
tell your
episode?
second
Right.
story.
I absolutely love, and that's gonna do it for us at the
No,
Bombardiers.
this is not going to be
See
a
you next
5-minute
time.
episode.
Oh, okay. So anyway, as an example for what it was like learning from him, it would be like he'd be explaining a posture and the way it can be used and sort of the specifics of how the movement works.
Oh.
And it'd be like you have to, your body, carries electrical impulses And it's like, okay, that's true so far. And, you know, like, that's what carries your movement and this and this. And it's like, all right, where is he going with this? And he's like, that's why when I stand like this, I can make the wind move. It's like, and he just, like, enter into a posture, and then you'd see him do like these small like twitchy flexes, and it's like, you see I'm doing it.
No.
And like the guy who was training with me was like, okay, well, there is currently a breeze, but I don't think that. And then there was another guy who was training him who like fully bought into it, and he was like, I feel it, Sifu. It's like, okay.
Oh boy.
So you just sort of had to eat around the bullshit. But aside from that, it was like good training.
You had to eat around the
good
bullshit.
ideas.
That sounds like some bestiality stuff right
Don't
there.
you?
Wow.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
Look at
God.
Zen Pikachu over there.
He's asleep.
Oh, yeah,
Do you
he's
think he can
very
make the
chill.
wind move?
Love that.
Yeah.
It's like, ow, but I'm okay.
Bet he can.
I mean,
Anyway.
he can't because he's an electric type, but
Yeah, come on now.
There's no wind type.
So
there's a flying type.
between these two types of situations, the sort of like cultural, political, and the pseudoscience, spiritual, esoteric stuff, I was like already sort of on the fence as far as like learning from this guy. But like it was good to be there also because the place that I trained had a bunch of other like martial artists who had a lot of experience, and being out there meant like I got to work with them also, and he would introduce me to them since he'd known them for a while.
Right.
They had a sort of skeptical.
A certain je ne sais quoi.
They had a certain like skepticism around his methods and beliefs and way of doing things, but also he was like stronger than all of them. Oh, there we go.
Sorry, but I had to.
No, I
Look at
I saw
Mr.
the
Child
previous
Face
episode.
Adult Body.
Do you
He
see
does
like
look like it.
the,
I
That is
see it.
very strange. Yes.
the screwdriver flathead eyes on Wooloo?
Yes,
It's just
he's
called
beautiful.
Flathead.
If I just say flathead, people who don't know that I'm talking about a screwdriver might not know what I'm talking about. Milo!
That's true. I wouldn't know about. I wouldn't know about
would.
it. That's true. He does look like a baby in a
Okay.
suit.
In my defense, last time he said it, he said Phillips head.
I said Phillips Flathead.
Flathead.
Not Phillips head flathead,
Yeah.
just Phillips
Oh.
That
flathead.
is wrong as hell.
What? That's because that's not what I said. I said Phillips flathead.
Phillips Flathead is wrong. That's what I was saying.
Is it?
Yes.
It
I don't know
is.
anything about
A
screws,
Phillips
guys.
head is the double, like the crossed one. A flat head is the just single line.
Just a flat head.
Okay.
We're getting away from the point here.
TDIL.
We gotta finish this story so that I can finish this episode.
Oh, so anyway.
Don't rush his beautiful masterpiece.
I'm
Go
gonna.
ahead.
You're right, that is wrong. My bad.
November rolls around. For anyone who's politically familiar with the weirdness that goes down in right-wing circles, November of 2017 was fucking weird because
You don't
a combination of like actual planned protests and weird speculation led to the belief that Antifa was going to rise up and kill police and conservatives in a like countrywide
doing.
coordinated
Oh my.
assault on American institutions
Goodness.
on November 4th or 5th, something along that lines.
Oh, I
which
must have
was
missed that.
actually when there were a bunch of coordinated countrywide protests like anti-Trump that were going to happen. I didn't know about this, but I got a text message from Renegade Monk into like the little group chat that we had saying like, don't go into the city this weekend, get bottled water, be prepared for power outages.
Oh, goodness.
I've been trying to get you guys onto it, to understanding this, but we're out of time, you know. And I'm like, hey man, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, totally.
And
Holy
totally.
shit.
He responds with this poster of.
Did you just like dunk on someone? Because
Excuse
it's like, never mind. Basketball joke.
Oh, right.
A
Hold on.
poster dunk. When you poster it, never
Poster
mind.
dunk.
He responds
Never
with
mind.
a photo of a flyer saying planned protests. It wasn't even saying like we're gonna kill everyone. Obviously, it was just like countrywide protests. We demand
where we kill everybody.
Accountability. Trump, blah 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 blah. Trump's got to go. Trump's got to go. And it's like, okay, all right.
Also,
well,
secretly
that's fine.
kill Renegade Monk.
And he's like, we may have to form militias to fight off the communists and all of this stuff. You don't understand. And he started like throwing out some other shit. He's like, you don't understand. Conspiracy theories are real. America is secretly Morocco. What? It was like, what?
I think if there's anyone who doesn't understand something, it's him.
This is I really like mentioning that one because that's the one that really, like, everything else, like Muslims and Jews are secretly in cahoots, is like weird, but at least there's conspiracy theories about both of them. But America is secretly Morocco is one.
Is it actually one that he said, or were you just
coming.
like throwing that in for emphasis?
That is literally what he said in this chat, like as he's like listing out.
Oh my lord.
He's like, this goes deep. America's secretly Morocco. I'm like, what the fuck are you on about?
Guys, look what I'm doing. I'm a squirrel.
What are? Oh, it's so cute. I love it.
big old fat
You're
squirrel.
an angry
Anyway.
Russian squirrel. I love it.
You really like the Russian squirrels.
The
does.
Squobits all look like little angry Russian men.
I talk to everybody before I go.
All Russian men are angry. It's
true.
a
Not
thing.
all
And
Russian
drunk.
men.
Yeah.
Speaking of
It's a
prejudices,
thing.
and
Excuse me, all Russian men are angry and all French people are terrible. That's all I know in the
German
world.
men are angry. You just keep deflecting.
You don't know
You
anything about
fucking
Germans.
heard me. I know
You
enough.
fucking fuck off.
I know enough.
You know nothing about German.
Anyway.
I
The
must
only
say-
thing you know is that we all like scat.
Anyway,
my God,
I must side with
We-
You
Michael.
don't like scat? It's just what...
I decided
Mikhail.
at that point to just sort of
He's gonna make
not
the
say
story
anything.
work.
A bunch of people were, well, not a bunch. The other person in the chat was like, "Oh, do you really think that'll happen? I don't think that'll happen. I think it'll be fine." And he's like, "You gotta be ready. If we're lucky, nothing will happen. But I haven't been wrong yet." And I was like, "My fucking
God.
post history begs to differ, dude. Like,
Jesus
you have
Christ.
said some shit." And so I decided, I was like,
shit, my door's open. Hold on.
I've got work tomorrow, so of course I'm going to be in the city. So I waited until the evening, and on the train home, I was like, hey man, so now that you realize that nothing has happened, I hope that you can realize that you're being lied to by whatever weird fucking sources you're using. And like, this is not this is not a thing. Like, everything's fine. Nobody is being attacked. And the short of it is, he was like, are you kidding me? I'm watching it happen right now. I'm live. And he linked me to his YouTube channel where he was live streaming 6 different screens of protests happening around the country. And like, the first look, it was like, first of all,
Ray's
there's
happy.
no violence going on in any of them. And second, like, 2 of the recordings were pretty much empty streets, like almost completely like quiet. And then
But can't you
at
see his
least one of
Antifa
them was
killing
like,
all the non-commies?
Yeah.
yeah,
They killed them all.
That's what this
They
was.
killed all the
I guess
non-commies. That's why there's
that's
nobody
what
in
it
the
was. They were already done that fast, and it was just like there was.
Oh my
so,
God,
it
Andrew.
was so. Two of them were like music performances. I was like, how are you?
Oh, God.
How are we looking at the same screens and you're saying like, oh, it's happening. This
It's
is it.
happening. Maybe he
so
doesn't know,
loud.
doesn't have the same definition of words as we do. Maybe to
Maybe.
him,
That's
protest
true.
means sing a song.
Yes, and it's
Sing a
very
song.
dangerous.
Sing a song. Sing
And
along.
so eventually
Excuse
he
me.
starts talking about me on the live stream. He's like, I'm talking to my martial arts students and they're so fucking stupid. And he rants about me because I didn't even
goodness.
realize he was talking about me for a while.
Damn,
And
no.
then he starts going on about me like, and he talks
Low
about
battery.
me on and off for about an hour.
I know.
Oh,
Fortunately,
no.
I've got a way to fix this. Because I've got another controller.
Oh,
Fight
I
this
see.
guy, though. Yeah.
All fixed.
This is a
Please continue.
gym?
Talked about you for...
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
the gym. Hold on.
We're training.
Gym
I'm
trainer
Woo!
Samuel.
Got my controllers.
Oh, I love you, Samuel. You look great.
Someone's changing his controller. Michael, now is the time to finish your story.
Yeah, hurry, go.
You have an opening.
Now.
Get in there.
Essentially, he talked about me for an hour, which I didn't look at until like later on. So I was like, let me hear what this motherfucker was saying. I shared the channel to someone else, to like my politics group, and they were like, this dude just defended Nazis. And I was like, that's not super surprising. He's like, okay, now he's declaring himself a descendant of Jesus. And I was like, oh my. Well, I haven't heard that one before.
But
This is literally like, why can't we have the white countries for the white people?
Oh, no.
And like, what's wrong with that? And just like going on about all of this stuff. But what really sealed the deal was I was listening to it, I don't know, a couple days later. I basically like put it on and listened to it like a podcast.
Oh, Michael, look, you're up.
oh yeah, we have a Pokemon
I named
named
a bird
after you.
after you.
I'd pluck you. Yeah, I noticed. I liked it. A blue bird. I like both
It's
of these
blue because
things.
you're sad.
Yeah, you're a sad boy.
Why
Evidently.
can't-
He's
sad
sad
boy.
because he
that's
doesn't
fine.
get to spend enough time with me.
What's funny is blue is his favorite color.
Yeah,
What's also funny is that
So
this
it
is a
was
girl
nice
bird.
until we ruined it.
that's fine.
And it's also my coo,
Maybe Mike was
because
in touch with
birds
his
go
feminine
coo.
side.
That's progressive.
Yeah, that's not why I call him that, but okay.
Anyway.
Is it because he's so cool?
So a couple days later,
So a couple
You're
days
watching the
later,
stream.
I'm listening to this. I'm listening to it because I don't have time to sit there and watch this dude scream.
yeah.
And I hear him talking, like, he basically shifts gears a little ways in when it becomes very obvious that nothing's going to happen. And he's like, is it so hard to believe that this is because the police are doing their jobs? It's like, well, if it was something where the police could show up and be like, stop it, then it's not like a huge insurrection.
If the
That's
police
not
could
usually
show up and
how
be like,
rebellions
"Stop it."
works. The cops are like, hey,
Stop
hey, cut it out. And they're like, okay, revolution over. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's how Les
We're gonna
Mis
stop
ended.
revolving.
Javert was like, guys, cut it. And they're like, oh, sorry, let's take down all this barricade.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh, man.
Don't you
Oh,
remember
geez.
in that
This is
classic
embarrassing. I'm
number
so
from
sorry.
Les Mis where Javert is singing
Yeah.
about, you know, the law and everything, and he's like, there, out in the darkness, some people are yelling, you better stop it. And then that's the end.
Yeah. It's like- they don't even bother showing the rest because, like, why would anyone continue after
Yeah,
that?
that's the whole movie. It's like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, it's honestly, it sucks. I don't know why people like that.
I thought it told a very deep and complex story about a law officer telling people to stop and them stopping.
yeah,
It's
I love that
actually
one.
Yeah.
a very good commentary on the nature
Very
of
wholesome. Yeah.
humanity to follow rules.
Yeah, which we always
Exactly.
do because that's
Yeah,
It's
just
human nature.
overthrow the bourgeoisie elsewhere.
yeah, no. Unless overthrow the bourgeoisie unless they don't want.
That is an odd-looking dish.
That's true. It's against the law to overthrow the bourgeoisie, sir.
Oh, we
Yeah,
heard
it's
the
probably-
turnip.
Yeah, we
probably not the best
killed an
idea.
oddish. We made a salad.
It's okay.
We heard the turnip, and we're going to kill more turnips and hear the rest of the story on the next episode.
Goodbye. Oh,
Wait,
wait, wait, wait, wait,
we're
wait, wait,
evolving
wait.
a
Before we
Pokemon.
end the episode, Mikey
can't
is
evolve
Oh,
Yes.
evolving.
okay, we
There.
can't leave yet. I'm sorry.
This is actually
Mikey, you're
perfect
getting
because there's
bigger.
only one thing left on the story. During the stream,
at
he
you.
said, "I will rip your tendons
beautiful.
from your bones if I catch you attending a Trump protest."
He's going to steal your kung fu.
That is what he said was, "I will destroy your kung fu," and then he specified, like, "Oh, your tendons and your bones will not be together anymore."
He said this to you?
and it's like, well, there's a lot that would make me not want to learn from this person anymore. But like, he actually is very strong, and he's
He
also
threatened you. He
nuts.
literally threatened you.
So, yeah, I was like, this is actually like a physical threat. So I'm just gonna not. And I actually saw him after that, like much later, and we pretended everything was fine because, like, what the fuck else are you going to do?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not like he's going to be like, oh, you remember that time I threatened to rip your tendons off of your bones? And then
Yeah,
feed
it's
them
like,
to
I
your
don't think
birds?
He wants people to realize that he's a fucking nutter.
Nutter.
That's right. A
I
nutter
love the
butter.
British
Like,
slang
it's-
for this British version of Pokemon.
fucking
That's
nutter.
great.
It's beautiful.
There we go.
Nutter, I hardly know her.
The Brits
a right
at
nutter.
no.
God damn it. sheep.
Hello.
Well, this is not going well, so we'll see what we can do
That's
in the
right.
next
Bye-bye,
episode.
everyone.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
And thank Michael for your story.
My pleasure.
Thank you for Michael's story.
Very special episode.
true friends, true fans.
Hey,
Good
Andrew, I
hearts,
don't think that's
good
working.
Love, goodbye.
Love
I don't
it.
think you're
Fuck
working.
this little
Shut up.
corgi. Bye,
Andrew-
everybody.
Bye.
Fuck these corgis.
I
I'm
think
trying to
if
work
we
on
tried to
these
go
corgis.
around them
This
instead of in
statement.
through them, it might work a little better.
Yeah, you gotta
Nah.
send them up the other way.
Yeah. Other direction.
True friends, true
Trying to
fans.
avoid- Aw, damn it.
Good love,
True
good
blood.
luck.
Oh, no.
True blood.
True lies.
Corgis are ruining